Hey everyone, welcome back to another Tech Talk Channel episode. My name is Jonathan and I am here to give you my thoughts and opinions on the recently released Pixel 10 series phones. Let's get into it. So Google released 4 devices, technically 3 right now with the 4th one being released in October. So we have the Google Pixel 10, we have the 10 Pro, and then we have the 10 Pro XL. And then in October we're going to have the 10 Pro Fold. So 4 devices. All of them share a lot of specs. They're very identical. Like for example, their chipset that is the Tensor G5. It's their 5th generation in-house made chipset that they've created. And so they also have similar RAM. Some of them have 12 gigs of RAM. Some of them have 16 gigs of RAM. And then the storage again varies. Some are as low as 128. Some go as high as 1 terabyte, I believe even. So we have a little bit of variety in terms of specs, but a lot of certain core specs are shared across the board. So that's something that we're seeing now that Google just released, and so that's out in the wild. And the feedback that I'm starting to see from other content creators and just people in general is that it's very samey. It's another Pixel. It's another generation of the same kind of device. And this goes back to what I had mentioned in the prior video specifically, that what we're seeing right now in these generation of smart devices is that we're just seeing a lot of iteration and very little innovation. And it's a bummer to see that because there's so much potential, I feel, technology-wise out there that can still be utilized. And so I would love to see Google also take that chance and try something new and different. Actually, one category that came to my mind specifically was actually the flip category of phones, the one that looks like a regular phone, but that it folds in half and gives you a smaller form factor like the classic flip phones of old. I'm surprised they haven't tried that because that would be something that I think that they would do really good at and actually have the potential to enter that market. Because right now Samsung and Motorola primarily dominate that field, at least in the United States. There's other models and other brands that you can find in other places around the world, but since I live in the US, those are the 2 main models that I have access to. So, and by the way, Samsung, Google, any guys, if you guys want to send me some models to demo and test out, I'm down for it. So, but back to Google. So yeah, it's just really interesting to see that Google has just stuck with their guns and just kind of stick to what they know and everything. And in of itself, there's nothing wrong with that, but man, it gets really boring. It's just one of those things like, man, I would like to see something more. So, but spec wise, they did a lot of good tune up on the cameras, add some good features and functions and everything. Of course, you have your AI, AI is everywhere these days. So of course, they have their Google Gemini integration into their devices and everything. And I actually utilize that quite a bit. When starting this YouTube channel and then looking up some other information, I use that quite a bit to get information. It's really useful, really helpful. So I understand the benefit of AI when used in a more informational, helpful kind of way. So I really do like Gemini and AI. So that's another video for another time because there's a lot going on in the AI world that I think would be interesting to talk about. But yeah, these Google devices, they're great. I think they're going to do just fine. I don't know if they're going to sell like hotcakes per se, but you have your general base of Google Pixel fans that love that device. They love having their software. The Android, is like the stock Android. So there's no skins, no overlays that are changing how it works or functions or anything like that. You have a lot of people that prefer that. And so, yeah, they have definitely a lot of great things going for it. It's just that I'm not really seeing a lot in terms of what it can do and what kind of evolution or revolution we can see with these devices. So that's something I'd like to see more of. But Google is very smart. They have a lot of software savviness, and for a long time with their earlier generation of Google devices, they were able to keep up with the competition with their cameras, even though the hardware specs of the camera were actually much lower compared to, say, Samsung, Apple, and recently OnePlus, Motorola, some other companies. But they were able to either match or outdo even some of them because the software that they have has been so well fine-tuned and just set up so well that they can make up for it in post via software. So it's nice to see that that continues to be the case here. I wish there could be a little bit more to it than that. Now, they have upgraded the hardware for the cameras. They're a lot better spec these days than they used to be. And so that in combination with their software definitely makes a huge difference. I love my Pixel Pro Fold's camera. It's been really, really good. I've been really satisfied with the cameras and how well they take photos and everything. And so I really like the function of the cameras. So definitely like to see what else they can do with that and everything. And so it's exciting though. I still get excited about these things, even if it seems iterative or, same old, same old. I really still enjoy talking about these things because, it's technology. It's fascinating. It's really incredible how quickly we've come along with smartphones. Literally, in just the past decade or so. So much has happened, so many changes, so much growth. It's been incredible. So I really like where this is going with the industry, and just really hope to see some more of that innovation that I mentioned earlier. So all in all, I would say that the Google Pixel devices, they're great. They have benefits, and they definitely have done a lot of work and come a long way since the original Pixel. Well, first generations of those suckers were a little bit of a disaster in some ways. I mean, some things were good, but you could clearly tell at the time that they were really just trying to figure out how to start to match iPhone and Samsung to some degree in terms of specs and just function and form and everything. But I tell you what, they've come a long way. And I used to be a Samsung guy. I was all Samsung all the way and everything. And recently I switched to Pixel, and I really enjoy the Pixel devices. I really do. Now, I definitely would be happy to go back to Samsung given the opportunity. But right now I'm really enjoying just the change up that the Pixel offers and everything. And of course, you know, even though I'm not a big user of Apple, you know, it'd be really cool to see. Hopefully we'll see something like I mentioned prior episode in this coming event for the iPhone 17s, but that remains to be determined. So in any case, but yeah, that's my thoughts on the Google Pixel lineup of devices and what Google is up to. I'm really curious what comes next. And when the 10 Pro Fold comes out, I might have a little bit more to say then, since it's not quite out yet. I'm going to compare it. It looks very similar. I'm going to go to either a Google store or one of the other stores that carries it around here and compare my 9 Pro Fold with it, just out of curiosity to see. So might do a video from there and just do it that way. So in any case, but thanks for hearing my thoughts on this. I'm excited to continue to share more, just my thoughts on technology and what's going on in this world and what's next. So if you like this video, hit that like button, and then subscribe to my channel so that you can see more content coming from me, and then hit the notification button as well, so that way you'll know and get immediately notified when I upload more videos. So thank you guys so much for hearing me today about the Google devices and the Pixels, and excited to share what comes next. So thanks for coming to my Tech Talk. Talk to y'all soon.